Hi guys, it's Shantele here. So I am got another process video for you guys today. I am working on I actually found this photo at the crop I was at. It's one of those fun Snapchat ones, and it's not the most flattering. I know my mom's gonna be so mad. I'm sorry, Bob, I'm showing this video. She didn't really like the photo, but anyways, I wanted to crop it anyways, or scrapbook it anyways, because I think it's funny. So that's what I'm going to do. So I am using the majority of my paper is from the new Maggie Homes. I know this paper right here is actually from my scrap. Well, actually, it's a borrowed paper from my mom, but I do have the paper pad as well. It is, give me a minute here to find it. It is actually from the Love Notes We Are Memory Keeper paper pad I got a long time ago. So might as well use it up. I'm also using a vellum piece of paper. I'll tell you as I go on which are the papers are called, if I know them. If not, I'll try and help out in some way. Sorry, I do stall kind of a little bit. I was watching Heather Little's scrapbook process video where her husband did the audio for it, and I kept stopping and laughing because it just had me laughing. So anyways, that's why I'm stalling a bit. Anyways, this process video took me a total of 57 minutes of the scrapbooking stuff and 20 minutes of stitching. You'll see that in a minute here too. I finally did some stitching. I always think it's going to take longer than it actually does. So I'm glad I finally did that. So this piece of paper here is, it's called Sincere. It's from the BU by Pink Fresh Studio. It is by far my favorite paper in that collection. This black one is one of the Maggie Holmes ones. I'm not sure what it's called anymore. It's the one with the bugs on it. You'll probably recognize it here when I flip it over. Anyways, so I wanted to use this scallop border punch. I'm trying to do the way I used to scrapbook back in the day, so I'm trying to get back into that groove. So that is what I'm doing. This is a Stampin' Up! One. I'm not sure if they still have it. I'm not really up to date with Stampin' Up! Stuff anymore. But anyways, I'm going to, it's not a full, I guess 12 inches is what I'm trying to say. I'm not exactly sure what it is, but it doesn't fit the whole bottom of my page. And if it does bug you, and say you wanted to scrap lift this idea, and if it does bug you, go ahead and sorry, neighbor's kids, I can hear them in the back. Scared me there for a minute. Yeah, use a full paper that goes all the way. But for me, I'm not really bothered by that, so I'm still going to use it as it is right here. So like I said, if it does bug you, use the full 12 by 12 length. And see, I'm going to put at the top there. And it's both the same size, but yet it looks a little bit off. But anyways, I'm going to measure it as much as I can to make sure it looks good to me. And then I'm going to start gluing everything down. This paper here is, it's called Impulse. I actually use, oh, that one is Impulse, sorry. And then the other one is Poppy. The Impulse one is also, it says Let Your Heart Decide is the collection, and it's by Pink Fresh Studios. And I do use both sides. I use this flower one, and I do use the yellow on the back as well. So I'm pulling out my old, anybody still have this? Or know what it is? It's a circle cutter. It does different sizes and stuff like that. I don't think Stampin' Up! Still has this. But anyways, I am going to cut out a circle at the full 6 inches. Or 6 round, whatever you want to say. With that paper that I pulled out. Just making sure that it will go around my photo there. And it's funny, back in the time, I was like, oh yeah, that's as big as I need anything to be, and now you can definitely go bigger with all the new digital machines out there. If I really, really was smart, I would have maybe did a little bigger circle, but oh well. Anyways, it is what it is, so. Cut out perfectly. Took me a while. I had to practice that for a while. Not on that piece of paper, but on other papers. But anyways, so this is how I'm starting to want my layout to go. I was just debating if I wanted to use that side or still keep the flowers. I was scared everything was getting a little too busy, but it doesn't. It turns out really well. It looks good in my eye. But I do flip it out back over here to the flowers, because I do know that the photo does stand out a little bit more here, but anyways, doesn't matter, right? So now enough's enough. I'm going to start gluing everything down so I don't have to keep trying to keep this all together. I misplaced my mat with my grid on there. It's actually underneath the white paper that I'm filming on right now. I didn't know where I put it, so I couldn't find it that day I was doing this video, but it works out in the end. I managed to eyeball it pretty good here, so that is what I'm doing right now. So yeah, just to make sure, I'm going to pull out my handy dandy ruler. And then I'm just going to finally, oh, oops, I adjust things. My bad. Sorry, I can hear my neighbors next door and I'm not sure what they're doing, but it sounds crazy out there. Anyways, so I'm just going to realign that, and that's good. And then I'm going to glue down that page. I'm just pulling out stuff that I knew I wanted to use on here as well. What am I saying, gluing it down? I don't quite glue it down here. So here is that poppy flourish. It's by the Flourish collection by Maggie Holmes. I knew I wanted to use a little bit of it, and I wanted to use the other side of this paper, so I'm trimming it up. And then I'm just going to, I didn't really measure, I just cut, I don't know, these papers up to the same size, and then I'm going to stick them underneath my photo as well. And I'm going to put a fishtail. At this moment I hadn't decided that, I just was wondering to see what I wanted to do, because I had pulled these papers and I knew I wanted to use them. I had an idea of what I wanted to do, but I wasn't quite sure how it was going to all work out here. So yeah, I'm going to fuss with this for quite a bit here before I settle on what I'm actually going to do. Just making sure how I wanted it, behind or in front. So yeah. Now I knew I wanted to use a tag. I had pulled these from my stash. I know the yellow and the blue one are actually from Alta New by Fancy Pants, sorry. And I knew I wanted to use one of those at the bottom here, but I wasn't quite sure which color I wanted to use. Anyways, in the end I do decide on this blue one, which, well, you'll see here in a bit, which will be completely craziness. Anyways, so I decided to do a fish banner. Is that what they're called? Yeah. On my paper there. I'm liking how this is coming all together. I'm going to do it on the other one as well. Cute, cute, cute. And then I am going to, I also wanted to, here I'm going to double check. Do I want, no, I still want to keep with this one. I've also wanted to stamp on this layout as well, so that is what I'm going to do next here. I'm just going to pull everything off. So I am using, sorry, I just got to flip over my cue card here. An ink pad by Stampin' Up. It is So Saffron, and this polka dot stamp is also from there. I don't know. I don't think they still have it, but any polka dot stamp would work as well. And so I know it's a little bit harder here to see, but that's what I wanted for one of my prompts to do. And then I also wanted to stitch on here, which is something so out of my comfort zone. So yeah, I'm just making sure that is where I want everything. So I am going to trim out a circle here, and then I'm going to come in with my piercer and kind of use it as a guide, and then poke holes every little bit around it. And then I'm going to stitch it. So yeah, there. Just getting the foam underneath, and then I know that's where I want it. I keep double checking to make sure. I'm trying to visualize it in my mind what it's going to look like, and then I just decide, no, I would like it right there. I'm just using the Tim Holtz, I don't know, what is it called, Tim Holtz? Pokey tool. I'm sure there's a fancier name, I just can't think of it. So yeah, that's what I'm doing here. I do it at the top as well as I'll head down to the bottom to do a little too. Yeah, here's what I was dreading. This layout I did do in 2 days because I ran out of time here. My son was coming home, so I had to stop playing in my craft room and go upstairs. And I was like, oh my gosh, the stitching is going to take forever. Oh, I just crack myself up sometimes. Anyways, so I am going to use, this is Amy Tan. I got this years and years ago. Remember when she had those embossing kits or stitching kits, I guess is what they're called. Anyways, the floss that I'm using is called Cherry. It's a very pretty hot pink. So yeah, I'm just showing just a little bit before I cut to the next day so I don't bore you guys with me stitching. But anyways, I was shocked. It really only didn't take me very long. It only took me about 20 minutes. I was able to get it done just in time for my son getting off the bus, so that was awesome. So yeah, as you can see, there's a little bit at the top and at the bottom. I love how that looks because in a way it kind of looks like an infinity, you know, loopy thing. So yeah, I love it so much. So next day, probably still wearing the same sweater because it's my favorite sweater. I'm going to, oh my goodness, as I'm doing this, I'm like, why are you don't need to glue this down. You are missing something. Something is missing. And I was like, in my mind, I'm like, no, I am not missing anything. Everything's fine. I'm going to glue everything down. Nothing like fighting with yourself. But anyways, so yeah, I go and glue everything down, and then I forget one thing that I wanted to add. And by the time I remembered it, I had used too much tape runner. Oh well, it works out in the end. So yeah, I'm going back and forth deciding what I wanted to use or where I wanted to stick those paper there. Using my tape runner, I get this from a Dollar Tree. Love this stuff. Had to laugh. I ran out of stuff and I went recently to pick up, but they've been out since the retreat that we had here, so both of our stores are out. There is one more store I could check, but I haven't done that yet. But yeah, the retreat girls cleaned everybody out of adhesive. So, and luckily at the bottom, one of the pattern papers had a grid on there, so I was able to line that up and make it look good. So yeah, gluing everything down. At this point in time, I was still thinking of a title. I just didn't want to do another one that says Snapchat Fun or something with Snapchat in the title. I've done so many of them. I'm pretty sure for years to come, maybe I'll do a little journaling on here and write it down, but I knew I just didn't want to use that as a title. I wasn't quite sure what I wanted to do, and then I just happened to stumble across, because I'm starting to get to know my stash again, and I found something, so I was quite excited about that, which you'll see here in a bit. I'm kind of jumping ahead here. So I did have to laugh. I had a dream about these butterflies. Do you ever do that? Dream about what you're going to do on your scrapbook layout? Well, that's what I did. I had a dream about those butterflies, so I knew I had to use them. And here's those thickers that I was thinking about. I'm going to use this one that says "You are magical." I know for sure that I'm probably not going to use it again for anything that I could think of, and it just seemed to kind of work for this layout, so that is what I'm going to use it for. This is from the Dear Lizzie. I think it's the Stargazer line. I'm pretty sure that's the collection these are from, so I figured that is perfect. That is my title, because there is quite a bit of layers on my layout here. I'm going to have to pop it up just a little bit. So that's what I think I'm doing. It's really hard to tell when you're voiceovering and the recording thing is, yeah, I am. Okay. Covers up the majority of your video that you're trying to watch, or voiceover. So yeah, that's what I'm doing. I'm just putting them on the bottom so they'll just pop up nicely. And then that is exactly where I wanted my tag to go, which I forgot about. But anyways, so I end up using two butterflies here. I'm going to place one at the bottom of my title here, and then I'm going to place one at the top right of the photo, but then I'm going to move it over. I think I move it over. I'm pretty sure I do. I know I mess with that butterfly for quite a bit here. I even switch it the other directions, and as I was doing this video, editing it, and I realized, I'm going to go back and I'm going to switch it to the way I had it, like this. I like it this way. So there's that tag. There's the forgotten tag. So, of course, trying to jam it underneath, and I'm like, I don't know if I like that anymore, that I put my title there. It looks kind of silly, but I still want to use this tag because, like I said, it was one of my prompts that I wanted to use on this layout, so I'm going to place it at the top there. I did debate about coming back in and maybe changing the string on it, but I never did. I just left it white. I think it looks okay. I don't think I will come back in and change it. Who knows? Maybe I might. Don't know yet. So I'm going through all the stuff that I thought I would like to use on this layout. Not all of it does get used, obviously, because at the moment you just realize it's not going to work, right? So toss those frames away. I'm going to come in with these two, I don't even know what you would call these little tassel things. I guess they're tassels, crepe paper tassel things. And I knew that there's no way I would use them on anything else. So, and they matched the colors in the papers that I picked perfectly, so I figured, why not? But here's where I switch things around. My eye, it just looks a little bit better. I know it might not look right. Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't, but I am going to, I don't know where else I'd use them, so I'm going to keep them there. I knew I wanted to use some rub-ons, but there really wasn't much that matched the color combination that I had, because most of it was, you know, had a lot of reds in it, or that navy blue, which I love. But I end up using just a couple little stitch marks at the bottom and at the top. So I kind of do a diagonal embellishment line. Does that make sense? I don't know. But anyways, that's what I end up doing. I end up really loving it. And I do come back in with a little bit more stuff. You'll see that in the still photos at the end. But yeah, no, I really do love how this one turned out. I know this isn't my idea, and I know somebody's probably done something similar to this, or, you know, nowadays it's hard to say that you're the first one to think about it, because it's not like that anymore. But anyways, so yeah, that's what I'm doing. I'm placing some more at the bottom there. I love these rub-ons. They are amazing. Going to come back in with some epoxy hearts here. These are see, I changed that. It drives me bonkers. Anyways, those are from Pink Paisley as well. I think. Just hang on. No, I think those are Pink Fresh Studios. I don't have them. Yeah, they are BU by Pink Paisley. Sorry. No, those are them. Oh my goodness. What are those? Were those pink? I do have them right here. Yes, those are the epoxy hearts. They're also by Pink Fresh Studio. They're Let Your Heart Decide. Sorry. They're so close together here. I got so confused. Anyways, I like to pop off these epoxy stuff off the buttons. Sometimes I like that look because they are just cute, small little. They're different. Let's just put it that way. And I'm going to come back in. I am going to add some of those buttons. I figured I might as well use them as well because I don't know. Well, I might as well use them, right? Anyways, it does kind of bug me right now, so I will go back in after off camera and put string through the buttons because I am one of those people that it does bug me about that. And then I'm going to be coming in with some Heidi Swap Color Shine in Gold. Oh my goodness, I too am sad that they're just continuing this. I am glad I am kind of stocked up and I might have to see if I can find some more. So yeah, that is pretty much finishing out my layout here. As always, if you guys have any questions, feel free to leave them down below. Other than that, I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!